Hi all! This video will show you how to set up the new failure reasons that are coming with the latest Quantum version. If you already have them set up, you can jump to the moment where I am explaining the new syntax and how to add tags and custom fields, because these are the only changes you will need. If you are setting up a failure reason for the first time, please watch the entire video. And if you never work with the tags or custom fields and you're wondering what that is, please go to our developer pages and search for more details. These two are out of the scope of our video today. Let me start with the POM file. In order to implement this feature, please ensure that your Quantum version is 1.20 or above. The both of the QAF versions are 2.1.14 and the SDK version is 2.3 or above. You can find these numbers again in the document you are currently in. Next thing I have to do is adding your new failure reason in the admin tab of your cloud. This is the cloud. The admin tab is found here under the gear, and you can see a bunch of failure reasons in my cloud currently. As you can probably notice, they are split by two types. The first one are the failure reasons that are coming by default with the cloud set up by our developers. The second part are failure reasons that are created by me or my colleagues, and you can see that they have a unique ID and delete icon. So what you need to do is add new failure reason, whatever you need. I will use backend issue for the purposes of the video, and start using it. Please note that you have a limited number of failure reasons here. You can probably notice that we already reached ours, so be extremely careful when you're splitting your failing test by failure reason, because you can reach the moment where you have to delete one of already existing ones in order to create a new one, and this can create a mess in your framework. Okay? Now let's move to the start in our video, which is the failure reason JSON file. You can find it here under source main resources, and here how it looks like. By default, it comes with a different examples. I've created these ones for purposes of my video. So here the custom error, you're putting the failure reason you created right now in the admin tab. For tags, you can put whatever you want or already have, and the custom field as well. Please note that the custom field is actually a pair of a key and a value separated by a dash, by a minus. So let's go now to our scenario. So with this one, I will use the scenario that is coming by default with our Quantum project. I will use the first one, and we failed on purpose on the very first step, so we'll have a pretty short video. Let's jump now to the code that is hiding behind that step. Here it is. I've commented out the default code that's coming with Quantum, and I've created changes to it, my own code. As you can probably notice, I'm throwing an exception backend issue error in order to fail that step. And this backend issue error is what I will see in my stack trace when I fail the test. I need to put that one here in the JSON file under stack trace error. Please note that I'm failing on purpose this step just to show you how failure reasons works. You don't need to fail on purpose your tests. You just have to pick a stack trace from already failing test and put it here in the stack trace error. Okay? So here is our step. I'm already throwing an exception. Then I will have to fix my test.ng XML file. I want to run only this web search scenario to make a shorter execution. So here in include name I already put the web search annotation and commented out the second device, so we really will have a pretty short execution. Let me ensure that everything is already saved. Okay, and let's run that test. So now let's go here to the device dashboard and see what is going on. We have to see our device in a second. Here it is. It will open the Google page and fail the test. Okay, the test is probably already failed. So let's take our report URL and open it here. I already have one previous one, but I want to open the new one for you. So give me a second. Like that. As you can notice, we have our failure reason here on the top. We have our backend issue in our stack trace, that manual exception that I throw. And also we have the backend issue tag here. If we go to the report library, you can see the failure reason here as well. If you swipe right, you can see the tag here as well. And what you can do with the tags and the custom fields we just added. The tag itself, here it is. You can say, let's imagine that you have 100 of executions, and half of them you know that they're failing because currently the database is down and is not providing the proper data to your application. So you have 50 tests that are failing because that database, and you put it to them a tag backend issue. So currently you want to see only these tests to see how many tests are failing because of that backend issue. You can come here to the tags and include it. So you will see here only these 50 tests, or a set of number of tests that are failing, and you can see how many of the tests are failing because of that. Or for example, you can exclude all of the tests that are failing because of the backend issue, because you want to see all of the other tests and focus on them. So this is what you can do with the tags. You can do similarly the same thing with the custom fields. So let's imagine that you have backend issue for your application, and this database issue is not providing information only for the countries, let's say Germany and Spain, but all of the other countries are working. So you are actually including the backend issue, and then from the custom field you're adding custom field for Germany and the one for Spain, and you will see only the tests that are failing for that group from the tag you already have. So this is what you can do with the tags and custom fields. Now I will give you one bonus video. What type of custom fields you can use for your failure reasons and what not. But you have to be aware that not all of the stack traces here that you see here can be used. They're steps, they're commands that are actually not providing any stack trace and any exception. If that happens, our Quantum is generating a stack trace for you on background. But this is not a real stack trace, it is not provided from the command. So you can use a line from a stack trace that is provided from command only. How you can recognize if the stack trace that you see here is a real one or generated by our Quantum on background. Okay, let me find one. This stack trace here is generated on background, not provided from the command. So you can't use it. How you can recognize it? Here on the second line you have that one sentence. There was some validation failure in the scenario which did not provide any trollable object. If you see that one sentence here, this means that your command didn't provide any stack trace, so the Quantum generated on background one for you, so you will have more details why the step failed, but you can't use that one for generating a failure reason. Usually these tests are handled by pre-default set failure reasons that are coming with the Perfecto environment. Again, you can't create a custom failure reason using a stack trace which is generated from Quantum project on background, and you can recognize them by this one sentence. There are another type of stack traces which you can't use for failure reasons for now, and these are the stack traces and tests that are failing because of the project not set properly. For example, the step that you're trying to use in your scenario is missing or just doesn't exist in your environment. This error is provided from the Quantum project itself. because of missing step. You can't use this one because again it is not generated from your command. It is generated from the Quantum project telling you that you have a missing code there. But you can easily use this one, for example, our handset server error, the browser was not opened. So this one, we don't see the specific sentence on the second line. It is a standard stack trace, so you can pick any line from it, whatever you want. This one, for example, and put it in your JSON file, for example, here, and so on and so on. So here now we have one custom failure reason with two different stack traces. So for two different issues, we will see the custom failure reason here. So that was it for our video for today. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.